when it comes to Derby Day and Breeders' Cup and those kind of things, yeah, of course I miss it. But I really enjoy caring for the horses, so I can't say I have any regrets either way. Hi, I'm Rosie Napravnik, and I am a former jockey turned horse trainer. I would say the past 3.5 years since my retirement have definitely led me in directions I hoped to go, didn't expect to go, all different kinds of things. I mean, Joe and I have probably lived 3 lifetimes worth of life changes in 3 years. There was something so special about Untappable that made it irresistible to kind of put the storybook ending on the end of the story.
Third, but as they come to the wire, the Super Filly has done it! Untappable has won the distaff!
For me, I knew it was the end of my career. Like, nobody else knew that when we crossed the finish line. So for me, it was like this big swell of emotions that this is the way I was going to go out.
First, I just want to thank Steve and Ron Winchell for having me on the filly to begin with, and also letting me get back on her after I was injured. As far as how much it means to me, I can't really explain, but I'm going to have to explain it to my mom first. I wanted to tell you in person that my retirement starts on Sunday, and Joe and I are starting a family.
The whole weekend I was trying to figure out how to make my announcement that I was retiring. And I was just really dreading the negative Twitter feeds of the fact that I was riding pregnant. And the secret was so juicy I couldn't even tell my agent, because I knew that he would have to start looking for another rider, and if he was doing that, then people would start to wonder why. I couldn't tell my mother because she has a hard time keeping things like that under her hat. And there was part of me that wanted to do it on TV because I wanted everyone to really hear it from me, like personally. But I definitely didn't plan a big winner's circle presentation of my pregnancy announcement. My one and only actual job galloping on the racetrack was for the late Dickie Small. And about a year after I started galloping for him, he actually told me, I think you need to start racing now. And I hadn't even finished high school, so I was like, oh my gosh. You know, here I thought that this moment would never come, and now it's here way before I expected it. I remember walking through the grandstand, almost like on our way there, and he was like, what name should we use? And he was like, Andy, or, you know, trying to come up with these universal names that could be either gender. And I was like, well, I mean, I'm okay with any of those, but does it not have to be my name? I mean, isn't there a rule that I would have to ride under my own name? So he's like, yeah, you're right. Well, just use your initials. And I was like, AR, well, that's really catchy. Not. But so AR it was. And I mean, I think it definitely gave me the opportunity to establish myself as a rider. And, you know, before everyone knew that, you know, all over the country that I was a girl. So I didn't really grasp it at that point, but I certainly do now. And it definitely served its purpose. Going into the Breeders' Cup as an undefeated favorite was not only validating of myself and my career and the point that I'd gotten to, but just knowing that I'd gotten there and that this was not just making to the Breeders' Cup, but I had a real shot.
Shanghai Bobby came back remarkably, and Shanghai Bobby, a tenacious all-heart winner. Shanghai Bobby and Rosie Napravnik come again to beat He's Had Enough.
Shanghai Bobby was he was always a little bit of a playboy. In every race he was something different. It was, you know, he wouldn't switch his leads, or he would, you know, be lugging in or be lugging out. And he was a great horse to ride, except for it was like you never knew what to expect sort of in the stretch. And so when he turned for home and he just pricked his ears and he looked at it so intently, and I've never had a horse do that. And he just was like deer in the headlights at the head of the lane, and I was like, not now, Bobby. And I just rode him as hard as he could, and it was thanks to the horse that ended up being second to come to me soon enough that he would jump back into the bridle and get his head back in the race. That was the only reason we won it. one of the most fortunate things about my career was that I was lucky enough to retire because I wanted to, not because I was injured or it was all planned out, but couldn't have possibly been planned as well as it worked out. I have a barn full of horses that I'm hoping to retrain as event horses, all coming from the track. I've got my 2 boys. It's been all I've ever dreamed of and much, much, much more. What does the future hold? I can't even really tell you. It's just the sky's the limit for our life.